Just one note before we get started. Following Jesse, we'll have Felipe at the podium. With that, we'll open up the questions for Jesse.
Gonna have to. Do we have a shorter podium for Felipe?
Jesse, do you feel? I'm sorry.
We'll go here to the right first. Wait for the microphone. Thanks.
We talked this week about this being a litmus test for the team. What have you learned about this team going up against somewhat of a shorthanded LA, but the way they were able to compact the midfield, narrow things? What did you see from your team from this game?
I mean, when you say shorthanded, it's maybe just missing Robbie Keane, and obviously that's a big piece. But that's still a very good LA team on the field. And for me, I thought that we controlled the game from the opening whistle, and for 90 minutes, I thought we were on top of the match, and they were getting the early goal for them, really changed the match a little bit, and meant that we were pushing and they were sitting back. But overall, I thought that all of the little tactical details for what we needed to do to be on top of the match were good. And then, the guys pushed and got the equalizer, and we were a little bit unlucky not to find the lead. So overall, I would give it a positive performance.
Go here to the right.
Jesse, just from game to game, I mean, looking at the San Jose game and then looking at what happened in this one now, Can you just talk about what you worked on and what you were happy with and what the progress was from this game?
Yeah, I thought our reactions and our awareness and our movement as a group was all very good, very, very good. So in a lot of ways, the first half might be one of our better halves of the season. So these are positives. I feel like we continue to move ourselves along against a good team. We played really well, and again, we're a little bit unlucky not to get 3 points.
Jesse, during the week you talked about Felipe playing as well as just about any midfielder in MLS. Could you talk about what he put in today? And to some extent, while it might have been a lucky goal, I mean, he made his own luck. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, he does so many little things well. He sees the game fast. His feet are sharp, so in tight spots, he can collect balls and see things quickly and deliver the next play. He covers so much ground. He breaks up so many plays. He's a connector. He's an attacker. His engine is at a very high level, so I thought another very good performance for him in the middle of the field. And he's only 24, but he's wise beyond his years, and I think that he shows that every day he's grasping what we want to do, and he's growing, and I think he's going to get only better. So very good start to the season for him, and another very good night. And I know he'll be happy he got on the board, even if it was a little bit of a weird play, but still goal nonetheless, an important one.
Go to your left.
I was going to say, Jesse, kind of almost maybe a tale of two halves, like LA, even though they got their goal and you still pressed, it looked like that they were trying to find a counter on you guys in the first half, and then in the second half you looked like you got a little bit better, and then the lucky goal happened.
Yeah, I don't think it was a tale of two halves, personally. I think it was one game where we were dictating pretty much a lot of the play at all moments, in possession, in pressing, in recovering balls, in set pieces, in almost every aspect of the game. I felt like we were on top of it. And again, a little bit unlucky not to find a way to be a little bit more dangerous to get the the second, and get the 3 points. And that's against a good LA team. So overall, I think it's a step forward. That's my main thing right now. Is even though it's only a draw, it's a step forward for me.
Jesse, two-parter for me. First, I saw you share a moment there at the end with Bradford Jamison. Talk about your history with him and what you thought of him today. And secondly, Lloyd Sam looks like he's maybe carrying a knock, but he obviously was all over the field. What'd you think of how he did today? I'll
start with Lloyd. Lloyd just didn't get a full week of training, and so but I thought overall he was sharp. At halftime we wanted him to be a little bit more aggressive, to be on the move, we just felt like he wasn't at his peak fitness wise, so we decided to make a change. But I still thought overall pretty good night for him. And then BJ, I know from when I was with U.S. Soccer, I would go in with a lot of the youth national teams, so I got to know a lot of these young guys. BJ was a young fringe player on the U15 team that I worked with, and I spent a lot of time with that team. I like BJ a lot. He has a lot of personality. He comes to training every day with a lot of energy, and I'm happy for him to get a goal. Obviously would prefer it not against us, but I think he has a big career ahead of him, and I'm happy to see him be successful.
This is the third time you guys have fallen behind in a match, but every time you've come out with at least a point. What does it tell you about the resiliency of your team to fight back?
Yeah. At half, the message was the goal's coming, and make sure that we all believe that and know that if we're on top of the game, that it's coming. We have gone down in games, but we haven't wavered, so that's a really good sign. Again, in that way, I think is another step forward too. So this team continues to grow, and it's only early. So if we can grow like this every single game, then we're in good shape. Good.
We're going to go to the right.
Okay.
Jesse wants the mic. 1 sec.
Can you just talk about the insertion of Sal Zizzo into the starting 11, why you decided to go with him, especially since Mike had 2 goals in the last 3 games?
Yeah, we felt that Sal, we liked the matchup of Sal versus Gargan. I think that helped us get the goal. Sal's been very good in training. He's been very good when he's played for us. We think he's dynamic and he's aggressive. And Mike, we also were looking a little bit and trying to now make sure that we have legs for all 3 games and thinking about rotations and figuring out how to get through all 3 games and manage it the right way. So, Michael start on Wednesday, try to figure out exactly where on the field, but that was some to do with it. Some of it was the matchup, and some was the 3 games in a week.
Jesse, Chris Duval struggled in the first half, not just on the goal, but on some other plays on the wing. And you stuck with him, and he had a pretty good second half. Is that something you're apt to do with a young player, to stick with him?
Yeah, maybe he could have done a little bit better on the goal, but Chris has been a reliable guy for us all year. And yeah, I think that we want to push our young guys and trust them and believe in them and then help them continue to grow and get better. Chris, I think, has been fantastic all year. There's like no chance I'm taking him out of that game. So he did, still had a very good game and continues to get better.
We're going to take 2 final questions. First, Brian, and then Michael.
In light of the 3 games in a week, would Roy or Zubar, would they feature midweek?
I would guess yes. We're aiming to see which guys come out of this game and will be ready for Wednesday, and then how to use the guys that didn't start tonight. So I would guess that we'll see those guys this week. And I think that we have a very good roster. We have a deep roster, and we're going to call on it now.
Yeah, Jesse, that was actually my question as well, too. How are you going to manage things? Usually teams will play 3 games in 8 days. You've got 1 less day to rest between games. So are you going to do anything different for going from game 1 to game 2 and then game 2 to game 3?
Well, first of all, we have to assess physically where we're at. We want to make sure that even now tonight that all the players that played major minutes handle themselves physically in the right way to give themselves the best chance on Wednesday. And then we have some guys that I think have been earning some playing time that haven't quite gotten it yet because of the way the schedule's worked out. So 2 weeks ago we talked about now making sure that using the USL Pro games, using training, using some supplemental fitness after training to make sure that in this stretch of games that whoever was going to get called on, that they know their roles and that they're ready to go. So we'll test it on Wednesday, see how it goes.
Thanks, Jesse.
Okay.
Just if you could raise your hand, questions for Felipe.
Did you expect the ball to come to you?
No, I was a little bit lucky, but I think it's the good thing is that the team came back and we tied this game.
How difficult was it to take on this LA team? Because even though they didn't have Robbie Keane because of injury, but they have some pretty good young players that have come through their academy, and it looks like they're going to be there for a lot longer.
I think they came here, they sit back and they counter us, but I think the team did a pretty good job. We play well, but we wasn't lucky to don't get 3 points, so it's a little bit disappointing.
Going back to the goal, could you take us through that? Because you talk about right place, right time. Some players sometimes will maybe move. You just stood there. And
We've been working on the midfielders, going to the offensive part, and I was lucky that I followed the action, and the ball came right to my head. So that was the goal. I have to look again the goal, but I was completely lucky. But the important is we scored this goal.
was it the easiest goal you ever scored?
I think so. I didn't score many, but I think it was the luckiest goal.
Can you talk about the level of confidence in this team? I mean, you've played 6 games, you haven't lost, and what do you think about this team?
I'm completely happy to be part of this organization, this team. We are a family. We run for each other. We play for each other, and every day we go to training happy to be part of this team, this organization. I think everybody is so motivated, and the staff is putting us on the best situation and the best way to play. And I think that that's a long way to continue play, and we have to keep working hard. And in the end, we're gonna see what will happen.
Felipe, how are you adapting to Jesse's style, and do you feel that this style is something that suits your skill set?
I think Jess is a great coach. The way he wants to play, like a lot of pressure, a lot of hard work, and he give all the confidence for everybody in this team, and every day work and push very hard, and that's the way I'm training every day and trying to do my best and work for the team, and I think that's the way Jess want everybody to play.
Obviously, you're not satisfied, but at the moment, it's 6 matches unbeaten. Do you and everyone else feels good at the moment in the locker room?
I think tonight, we don't feel good because we could win this game. We had to win this game, but in the end, we came back. We tied this game. Now it's just focus on Wednesday night and get 3 points to keep continue our way.
I think we're all set. Thank you, Felipe.
Thank you, guys.